Creator of all that is, has blessed us with timelessness. Despite our trained, one might say programmed perception of time and its requisite demands, it is important to stop and reflect on the artificiality of the concept of time and its imposition on our equanimity. The demands for punctuality are more for convenience and control in today's hustle-bustle workday world, be it a boss, a school schedule, an appointment. While time and timelines can be compelling, even motivating, it is a stressor on our system and an invention for control and allows for further programming. Knowing this, let us find time to touch in with creator energy each day and even throughout the day to stay in balance with what is really needed to be accomplished. Consider letting go of the clock awareness so that our days can flow in a timeless, relaxed manner, whatever the outer pressure. When pressure, take a deep, prolonged breath and drop the shoulders to relax into balance. And at day's end, let us give thanks for the day and all that it held for our growth and our joy. And so it is.
Hello, it's me again. Remember this guy? I'm still looking for a deputy. We have 11 of us. We need 12. I'm bringing to the attention now of the Oregon Sheriff's Association and all those interested in a certificate of compliance for the state of Oregon Foreclosure Avoidance Program. I'm in the avoidance program, the Oregon Foreclosure Avoidance Program. That's the way the lenders initiate the process of foreclosure. They tell it to the state, and the state makes a showing of avoiding this by contacting the people that are considered to be the grantors on behalf of the beneficiaries, in this case, Freedom Mortgage Corporation. So this gets so convoluted. I was contacted by the Oregon Foreclosure Avoidance Program by a guy named Jesse Clipp, one of two guys that do the mediation for this avoidance program. He's the mediation case manager for this one. I have a case number and everything. They contacted me and said, this has happened and Freedom Mortgage says this, and we're going to require you to do all of these things, provide us with these various pieces of paper, and do other stuff, and pay $175 to us. And if you don't do that, then we'll consider that you are non-compliant, you do not want to assist, and we can't mediate, and we will give a certificate of compliance to Freedom Mortgage, the lender, because you didn't cooperate. That's coercion. Really, you get to do that to me. Okay. Well, as I have been looking for Freedom Mortgage to give me an answer to the question since September last, 2025, my wife died in August, and here I am, surviving spouse. Now what do I do? Um, and that's not a whine or a snivel. It's just, what do I do? I had not done any of it since 2013. Zero. No taxes, no payments, no anything. I either took care of all of it, ran the business in the house, and did very well at it. And I didn't do any of that. And now I had it all. So the first thing was, I want to see what's legit. What have we got here? And I found out that she had re-recorded the ownership from herself as a woman to her as a trustee for the Vroman Living Trust. And I thought, wow, okay, but I'm the one on the mortgage. And I had a deal with a dead woman. And now I had no deal. Things are not looking good. So I asked to have a copy of what they were trying to enforce. And as they were trying to enforce a monthly payment on a mortgage, and they told me they had the right to foreclose, I required of Freedom Mortgage Corporation, I want to see the original document that you say Aida and I signed where we agreed to the conditions that you're saying. I'd like to see that document. Well, that started in September, and they'd send me a monthly bill, and I'd write across it, let me see your proof of this statement. Where's your evidence? Support your claims? Nothing. They'd call me on the phone, and I'd answer them, and they referred it to their loss mitigation. So Freedom is notified. The county's notified. The recorder is notified. A quiet title explaining all of this is filed with the recorder. And all of this is happening and going on, and I'm not making any payments to anything that doesn't have the authority to collect from me. Don't acquiesce to anything. So I go to the county when I get this piece of paper on the telephone, and I talk to a guy there. He's one of these people that is pleasant and polite and officious as hell and really knowledgeable. I mean, he really knows the recording of property and deeds and all of that in the recorder's office for Washington County. I'd say totally knowledgeable. I think there's like 9 of them. And so I started asking him some questions, and he appreciated being able to tell me all the things that he knew that I wanted to know. I have a sneeze coming on. During that conversation, I found out that Banner Mortgage had just conveyed their interest in 14725, my home, to Freedom Mortgage Corporation in January of 2026. That's recorded. And it was done by MERS, which is the Mortgage Electronic Recording System, MERS, M-E-R-S. They did that. And I had quite a conversation with this fellow at the recordings office, and he told me about MERS, and they'd been sued by counties because they didn't record on time and all of that. And we had a good conversation. Pleasantville. And they had been billing me at Freedom Mortgage since Aida died, September, October, November, December, January, February. This is May. And it wasn't recorded until January. Why is that? And then Banner Bank had been one of Aida's banks, and my daughter Dawn and I closed out the account there. And the lady in charge of the Shoals Ferry branch, I recognized her from years before. I used to bank there also, but the one in Beaverton that closed. And we were in Shoals talking to her, and it took 2 visits and had to bring documents and paperwork, but we closed out everything to do with Banner Bank. And that was in September, I believe. So if that happened in September, well, then why in the hell was it just getting recorded January this year? That's important stuff. They're talking about the recorded encumbrance on my home. I closed out Banner Bank in September. I'm not going to be able to answer that. It's just going to ring and ring. So Banner Bank is on the list, and I called Banner Bank. And I talked to a lady. Of course, she's in the wrong department, but I have to explain everything to her regarding what's going on at Banner Bank, at the Washington County Recorder's Office, and at the home of Ron Vroman and Aida's former home. And we had cleared everything to do with that bank. I wish that would stop. I hope it, it doesn't want to stop. It wants to just bug the hell out of me. Back to Banner Bank. So I'm talking to Banner Bank, the wrong person, but I explain the whole thing to them, and they send me to another person who's the wrong person, but we don't know that. And that person calls me back, and we talk, and I explain everything to her, and she says, I'm sorry, but I'm not the right person. You have to talk to this person. So I'm 3 deep into Banner Bank now, and I explained it to a young, knowledgeable woman that gathers all the information, will not impart any information, and she's going to take it to the boss. Because this is what I think is happening. I think the original documents in the mortgage industry go to the original underwriter or owner of that loan. Whatever you sign in escrow, you get a copy, and the copy goes to the lender. That copy stays with the lender as a legitimate document until they transfer that digitally. And then, in color of law, a digital document that does not exist is accepted among all of those that want it to be that way as a legitimate document, and they will use that digital document in color of law against all of us that have a mortgage, because the mortgage is actually a fiction. It's a deception. I don't know how the deception works. It's been explained. It's way past my pay grade. Really bright people that try and do it. Heather Antucci Jarrett, Hat J, she's in jail, or maybe she's out now. I don't want to go there, but I will not acquiesce. The law says I can contract and make a loan. And the law says if you say I have a loan with you and I'm not keeping up my end of the bargain, then provide your copy of the contract. Support your claim. If you cannot support your claim, who are you? I know who I am. I'm the veteran that got the Veterans Administration loan undersigned when Aida and I put a mortgage on this place before the last one, which was a VA mortgage also. And then we renewed that VA mortgage with another mortgage at a better interest rate. And that's what they're trying to collect on. And I'm saying, if you have a proper loan, if you have a proper mortgage, then provide me with the information required. By law, you cannot take the law and change it with one of your rules or statutes to your convenience to my detriment. You don't get to do that. That's why we have a constitutional Republican form of government, and I challenge you. I'm not going to accept it. I do not acquiesce. So, back to this piece of paper. I get this document. All right. This is a certificate of compliance, State of Oregon. It says, after recording, return to Kintat at McCullough, Raymer, Liebert, Pierce, LLP for Freedom Mortgage in Bellevue, Washington. And the grantor is Ron and Aida, and the beneficiary is Freedom Mortgage. You cannot take an unalienable right and change it to a benefit or a privilege, and this guy's a beneficiary. Okay. It gives my property address, it gives some numbers, gives a case number, and it says here in number 1, the service provider hereby certifies that either the beneficiary or its agent complied with the requirements of ORS 86, 726, 86.729, 86, 732, which are Oregon revised statutes. You cannot make a statute or a rule or an ordinance that infringes upon my unalienable rights for your benefit. You don't get to do that unless you ram it through and all the judges and all the attorneys and the sheriff all agree that we'll take this old guy's home fucking. Well, okay. So they checked off the box where I paid $175. And then it's signed by somebody It looks like 3 letters and a couple of dots. And it says Authorized Representative, Oregon Foreclosure Avoidance Program. Now that's probably Jesse Cliff. That's who he said he was. He said he was the mediator case manager. So is that the authorized representative for the Oregon Foreclosure Avoidance Program, or is that his boss? Whatever it is, it's illegible. The name's not there. Then it says State of Oregon, SS, County of Multnomah. The foregoing instrument was acknowledged May 26 by Jesse Cliff. No signature, just a name printed there. Then it says Authorized Representative, Foreclosure Avoidance Program, Provider, Mediator, Case Manager. And this is notarized and stamped by notaries, and no place on it is there a place to go and protest. Nobody prints an address. There's nothing that you can do. There's not even a place on this piece of paper to mail it to Cliff. There's no phone number. There's no way to respond. That's not a constitutional Republican form of government. You don't get to do that, but they do. And why do they do it? Because they have Article 7 amended. They get to make the rules. They get to enforce the rules. So this was not the place that I intended to be, but this is the place that I am. And this is so far superior to anything I could ever imagine for myself. It's incredible. What a delay. Thank you so much. And
Greetings to all. My name is Gary Dean of the Family Derby, and we ask, where are our sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. You may ask why. Because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be there to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their homes and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system, rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are our sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution, SIRA 1859, with its original jurisdiction, that is, to the people rather than to a corporation. To our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a dejuration and oath is needed for there to be remedy in our system of government. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference, to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so. Thank you.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.